There was a girl in my class and she was black and she asked what I was. And I said, oh, I'm half black, half Korean. I was like, my dad's black. And she's like, no way. She's like, I need to see a picture. So hi, I'm SINEAD. I am half Korean, half black, and I'm from Seattle.
Okay, my name is Elizabeth. I grew up in both Kenya and the US. Quarter Kenyan, a quarter Singaporean, and half Korean.
Wow, that's a gorgeous mix.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Thank you.
How long have you guys stayed in Korea?
So I've lived here for 5 years now. I moved here in 2018.
Whoa.
Long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think that I would be like better at my Korean, but like I'm still working on that. I'm still working on it. I moved here originally with my twin sister. Yeah.
You have a twin?
Yeah. She doesn't live here anymore, so I'm really
Okay.
sad. But she came here with me in 2018.
Okay.
I will be approaching my 6th year in August.
Whoa,
Yeah.
okay, so your mom's Korean.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
Yes.
Okay, my
Yes.
mom's Korean too. And she's also a twin. Twin.
What?
Yes.
Is she identical or fraternal?
Identical.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Wait, so are you guys identical?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you have any siblings?
I do.
Okay,
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
You said talk freely, so I was like, let's dive into it.
Okay, I came to Korea in September of last year.
Wow.
So I've only been here for like maybe 5 months.
Oh
Isn't
my
that crazy?
gosh, that's like fresh.
I know.
Mine's
I'm so
5 years.
fresh.
Oh, I'm expired. Oh,
Oh
my
no,
God.
no. Since my mom's Korean, I also wanted to kind of connect with her and then some of my old friends from high school who were Korean as well. So
My first impression is you're so pretty. The first thing I notice is your dimples and your curly hair. I love your hair. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. It's just, yeah, I'm sorry. No, I just think
now I'm like blushing.
No, I just think you have such a pretty look. Yeah, so that's
thank
my
you so
first impression.
Honestly, when I first saw you, I actually didn't know that you were half Korean, or I knew you were half Korean, but I didn't know you were also half black.
Yeah.
That's like not something that I thought. So when I heard, I was like, oh my God. She's like me. I'd love to see
Yeah,
that.
I love that.
Living in state versus living in Korea.
Oh, I could go deep into all
I
those.
know. I could
Wait.
talk forever.
Yeah, are you sure? Should we dive? Okay. So growing up in Seattle, I grew up in a very small suburban town, and I feel like everyone knew each other. So our town was predominantly white. We always felt very othered in our school. They would not see us as mixed. They would either say, oh, you guys are black, so they would just say black, or they would say, oh, you're just Korean. Like they would never see us as both, and I think maybe they just had a harder time understanding it. We were young, so I'm sure my fellow peers, I think they just had a hard time understanding that maybe because if they're not used to seeing mixed people. I think I tried so hard to not talk about my Korean culture or even talk about my black culture. I think I just tried so hard to just kind of be straight and narrow, not try to even be different. And I think that kind of hindered me and my sister, I think, growing up, is we weren't as comfortable with ourselves at that time. Yeah.
Did you feel like you went more to one side or more to the other side?
I actually, growing up, me and my sister both, we leaned definitely more towards our black side. I actually wanted that, I wanted to look more black. I know that sounds weird, but growing up with my family, it was only my black family that I really grew up with. So me and my sisters, we looked very different from my cousins, my aunt, we looked different. And I actually didn't like that we looked different. I actually wanted to look more like my family.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry.
I know. It's sweet though.
I know. How about you? What was your experience like growing up in America?
For me, I found it a little bit difficult, especially transitioning from living in Kenya to the US. In Kenya, I guess I didn't have to think about my identity as much because even though I'm Kenyan, I still lived in Kenya kind of seen as a foreigner. I think that's why I'm okay being seen as a foreigner in Korea. But when I was in the US, I felt like very out of place because I felt like everyone was assuming my race, my identity. I had to lean more into my black side because I think that's how people see when they see your skin color, they see your hair. That's all people see. And so I found it a little bit difficult to find people that I could just be myself without having to identify one way or the other.
I felt that as well, feeling like I had to pick one side over the
Right.
other. People would ask me, so yeah, which one do you identify with more? And I'm like, I literally can't pick one because it's I cannot diminish my black black side, but I also can't diminish my Korean side,
Right,
you know?
yeah.
And so some people are like, no, but you gotta pick one. I'm like, but I really don't
We're
have
just
just one.
mixed,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I feel like unless people are mixed, they really don't understand that it's
Yeah.
like, I'm proud to show both of my cultures. Like, I don't wanna just be like, I'm only this and I'm only that. No, because I'm a beautiful blend of both.
Yeah.
And also, I think one thing that was hard, specifically in America, is just people straight up just saying, what are you? Okay, I know that sounds like a little dramatic, but just like, it would be the tone that they're saying, what are you? As if like, I'm so different from them, but it's like, I'm human, that's one thing. What are you? Oh, you're this, are you that? Like kind of throwing out guesses. It's just like, just simply ask, hey, what's your ethnicity?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, what's your nationality? My nationality is American.
Yeah.
Some people don't know the difference between ethnicity and nationality.
And I think what's even worse is when people are asking you, what are you? And then you tell them, and then they're like, no, you're not.
Yes.
Oh, I hate that.
I've had people literally straight up say, where's your DNA test? I want to see it. And I'm like, do I really even have to prove that to a stranger? Like, no. Something that happened when I was younger. There was a girl in my class, and she was black, and she asked what I was. And I said, oh, I'm half black, half Korean. I was like, my dad's black. And she's like, no way. She's like, I need to see a picture. I literally showed her a picture. My dad is with me in the picture as a baby. And she's like, that's not your dad.
Wow.
She's like, tell your mom. She's like, you need to talk to your mom. She's hiding something. And I was like, that was really disrespectful to me, just because that is my dad. Like,
Yeah.
we've even done the DNA test just as a joke. And that's like, that's my dad, you know?
So do you feel like, let's talk about hair.
Okay, we can talk about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
because I notice like when I have braids, when I have
Yeah.
longer hair, when I have straight hair, when I wear my hair like this, I get different reactions in different people. But I see you have straight hair. Have you always had straight hair? Do you straighten your hair or yeah?
So actually, yeah, growing up, so naturally I have curly hair.
Oh,
But
really?
it's very like loose ringlets. So like me and my sister have looser curls.
Yeah.
So even when it's natural, people can't even tell that I'm half black still. They're just like, oh, she just has curly hair.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I grew up with my dad instead because my mom and dad split. So my dad didn't know how to do hair. So like I
Yeah,
relied on
yeah.
my older sisters
Yeah.
and they didn't really teach me like proper curl management, like how to properly style curls. So I think because of that, I grew up feeling like my hair was a burden. And then when I started straightening it, I automatically felt like, oh wow, people are complimenting me now. And I've gotten this like so many times. They're like, how are you half black and your hair's not an afro? I'm like, why do people expect your, literally like I had someone say that, but they were like, your hair's not an afro. I was like I think they have this perception that just because I'm half black that I have to appear maybe the way that they imagine in their head. Or maybe the way media, I don't know.
I think people always have like an eye picture.
Yeah.
My mom, since she was Korean, she also struggled doing my hair growing up. So my hair used to look really crazy. It wasn't until college where actually like I was around other black people, especially black Americans, and they helped me. They taught me how to do my hair.
Yeah, you know, your curls look really good.
Thank
Like,
you.
oh my gosh, I'm envious. Like, only
I have a whole routine.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing.
Do you do the finger, like,
I
ringlets?
do.
Okay, I used to do that too when
Yeah.
I was younger. I would just do this.
Yeah.
And it would just be like nice bounce.
I
yeah,
know,
I love that. Oh my.
Okay, guys, tell me about the life in Korea. Korea thinks you guys as Korean or totally foreigner?
Yeah, actually, just side note, I actually think half white, half Korean, they're perceived very differently here because the beauty standards fair skin, straight hair, big eye. I feel like they.
We could talk about beauty
Yeah, I
standards
think that's
too.
a beauty standard that's a good one.
How have you found the beauty standards here in Korea?
Personally, I found it quite difficult when I first moved here because I like makeup, but I found it so hard to find my shade here. And I think that was kind of like a shell shock for me because in America, I'm not considered that dark, so it's
Yeah.
always easy for me to find my shade. It wasn't until I moved here that I was like, whoa, I was like, Korea really very limited in terms of like the products that they offer, especially being of color. I think Korean beauty standards are still very like small, like same look, so pale skin, very natural look.
Yeah. It's so homogenous.
Yeah, and that's different for me because I'm not used to that. Korean makeup does not look good on me. I would just say that.
Really?
No, it does
Why?
not. It does not.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm very interested because I feel the same way. The beauty standard here is quite homogenous and it's quite high. I think that most people actually can't reach it. It's too high for like the average person, I think. Actually, I feel like people do accept me as half Korean, but I wonder if it's just because they find me pretty. I wonder if I was like not pretty, they would be like, no, you're not.
You make a very good point about that. Koreans will pay more attention if you're pretty.
Yeah.
That's very true. There's people that are like complimenting my looks. Like I went to a bakery, one of the cashiers, she said, "Oh, you're so pretty." And then I said, "Oh, thank you." And then she asked what I am, and I told her, you know, I'm mixed Korean. She's like, "Oh, no wonder you're so pretty."
I know, they're like, of course, they're like, I knew, and I'm like, did you know that? Did you?
Once they like know, okay, you're half Korean, they almost want to own that. They're like, yeah, okay,
She's mine.
she's one of us
Yeah.
because she's pretty, you know?
Right, definitely. Lookism is so important here. I even noticed with like all my job applications, I always have to put in a
Picture,
a headshot. Yeah,
That's so different.
Yeah,
right?
and then like in interviews, people will actually it's okay for employers to ask you what your ethnicity is. That was a
It's a
shell
shock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in America, it's almost frowned upon to put your picture on a resume. They don't recommend that. But here, it's like, oh yeah, you have to put it on there.
Of course. The other day, I really like to dance, and I feel like maybe people think that that's like a common black trait, like it's just in your genes.
I've heard that before.
And so since I was telling someone I like to dance, and we were out, he was like, "Do you rap? Are you a rapper? You would be a really good rapper."
Wow.
And I kept saying, I'm like, I cannot rap. I kept repeating, I can't rap. He's like, no, but you would be really good.
He's being insistent, like, no, you got it. You have the gene.
Exactly.
Oh
no,
my gosh.
but I'm like, I kept saying, no, I can't.
That's
Stereotype.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Stereotype.
Okay, I actually did have an experience. It was on a date, and when I told him I was half black, he's like, "Ooh, so," he's like, "You like hip hop style?" And I was like, "What do you mean hip hop style?" He thought like music. You listen to hip hop.
Of course.
And I was like, "Yeah, I do like hip hop." He's like, "Yeah, hip hop style." He's like, it was just interesting how like quick he was like, "Oh yeah, you like hip hop, right? What if I didn't like hip hop?" In terms of the other side, like when I say I'm half Korean, they automatically assume that I'm very Koreanized, and I'm like, no. Like when I say I'm very American, it's because I grew up with my dad. I was not raised at all by my Korean mom, so that's why culturally I feel very distant from Korean culture.
I always try to have like a lot of disclaimers when I tell people I'm half Korean. It's like, yeah, but this, and yeah, but I wasn't here, yeah, but this, and yeah, I've only been learning Korean for 4 months, please be nice.
Okay, guys, what about relationship?
Oh gosh, I've got some history.
I know, like been avoiding.
There's a reason why I'm not dating any more Korean. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not gonna say that on here because I know that the people are gonna come after me in the comments, but there's a reason why I don't want to date Korean anymore.
Say more.
Yeah,
say more.
I mean, even my friends can vouch. I've tried. I really tried.
Okay.
Should we get into it now? Is it Sorry. So let's talk relationships, dating here in Korea specifically.
But I don't know, I feel like sometimes maybe people are intimidated of me. I have no idea. But I have had no luck here. I've like I feel like I haven't met
You're
anyone.
gorgeous. Like I'm surprised people don't stop you on the street and like,
No,
hey,
people
can
don't.
They
like I felt like
don't?
people in the US, like I actually felt like it was easier for me in the US
Yeah.
because people are more sociable
Yeah,
and
more
they'll
forward. I'm actually really surprised like people don't stop and stare and be like, oh my gosh.
never.
Can I like talk to you, you know? 'Cause
I would
wow.
love that. Please come talk to me,
Yeah. Oh my
everybody.
God. Wait.
But I haven't met anybody, I feel like.
For me, for Korean men, because I mean, I've only had one ex who's Korean. The others were not like relationships, but I have dated Korean men.
Yeah.
I would say my ex specifically, he was very Gyopo style. So he had
Okay.
tan skin, he was
Yeah.
muscular. So like, that was kind of my type.
Mm.
I have, sorry.
That is Gyopo style.
Gyopo style. I like Gyopo
But he
style.
wasn't Gyopo, that's what's weird.
Wait, what do you think about guys wearing makeup here?
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it
Yeah,
too.
I actually went on a
Yeah.
date and a guy was touching up his makeup during the
As
date.
he should.
I was like, all power to you.
I think everybody needs a little bit
right?
of makeup.
I was like, I wear
everybody.
makeup. Why can't he? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it. Actually, I think it's
I
good
think
for
that should
everyone.
be more normalized.
Me
Honestly.
too.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the last topic. How do you identify yourself?
Yeah, okay. Well, this is the question I think all mixed people ask themselves.
Yeah,
How do
I don't know.
identify? This is the question I ask myself my whole life.
Yeah. Every day I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, who am I?
I'm not literally a 50-50, although I did take the DNA test, you know, where it shows your ethnicity.
Right.
Literally 50% is Korean. So like my
Yeah.
mom, full true Korean, I guess. But my dad was the one that's a little bit more, like he's quite mixed, I guess. So I think that's just how I identify, is just being half black, half Korean, or just, I guess, black and Korean. I can't pick one, and I would never.
Yeah.
I think in terms of maybe culturally, though, I would identify more with my black. But in terms of the phenotype and physically, people
Right.
assume me to be more Korean.
Because it's different.
Yeah, so I think that's where it's different. It's like
Yeah.
physically, yes, maybe appear more Asian or Korean.
Right.
But culturally, I feel more comfortable with my black side.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
I think for me it's also difficult because people do like kind of give you flack for being like, I'm a quarter quarter this and a quarter that and a quarter this.
Yeah.
But it's hard because like I am a quarter Kenyan, but I grew up in Kenya. I was born in Kenya. I'm a Kenyan citizen. And then I'm a quarter Singaporean and I have family in Singapore and I've gone back there, and yeah, I'm half Korean. So it's like all those parts of me are very important and like are intrinsic to who I am. If I just had to generalize, I would say I'm Afro-Asian, like African Asian.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Because I like it more than Blasian, because
Yes.
Blasian can be
there's
weird.
Some, there's some weird fetishization going on with that
yeah,
term,
Blasian.
right?
So I'm like,
I agree.
yeah. It was nice meeting
It was
you.
so nice meeting you. We had such a good.
I know. I know we're gonna be friends.
Yes, I was like, we can go on and on.
I know.
Okay,
We're definitely.
we're gonna have a cafe date soon.
Yeah,
okay?
we are.
Can she be my second date?
Yeah. We're gonna be my second date.